Yeah, we'll quickly run through the first few sentences which we had done last time and then proceed further. We are saying that Ashwapati has crossed the mental levels of cognition and entered into the spiritual domains. And in the spiritual domains, there are grades which are now getting accessed to him, and he gets a different kind of a knowledge of things around here. The spiritual worlds have opened out to his vision and to his understanding and to his realization also simultaneously. Now, in that sense, this whole section, as if it looks, Shivantu is kind of hurriedly describing. Although this particular section itself has something like 160, 170 lines, but it looks as if he is hurriedly describing the whole thing. In other words, the details of each and every step which had occurred in his spiritual life must have taken pages and pages and pages of Savitri. So, in that sense, we had to kind of fill up many steps in between by our own way of understanding and relating what is being described here, you see. He says pure perception, he says intuition, he says revelation, he says inspiration. Now, all these things are just described in hardly 200, 250 lines. But then the whole process is a very long process, and how exactly the transition has taken place, in what manner in his spiritual sadhana he has acquired those faculties of that, we don't know. We are only presented here the result, the data, the final output, the outcome of that thing, you see. But how he has really acquired that knowledge, in what manner his tapasya went on, of that we don't get any idea at all. That we have to understand and grasp, and then fill up the details in a way ourselves to some extent, you see. Of inspiration with a lightning feet, a sudden messenger from the all-seeing tops traveled the soundless corridors of his mind, bringing her rhythmic sense of hidden thing. Yeah, of course she is bringing the hidden. Now, inspiration is a messenger. That is important, you see. She is of course a goddess. All that she does is, to the aspirant soul, the seeker of knowledge, she brings the message of knowledge, of omniscience, of understanding, of cognition. She brings the message. She herself does not give the knowledge, but she brings the knowledge of the higher thing and passes it on to you, so to say. A sudden messenger from the all-seeing tops. Yeah, all-seeing top. That's the topmost kind of a thing. She's coming straight from that height. Now, with lightning feet, she really comes with a kind of a swiftness which you cannot imagine. How she managed to come at all, you see. In fact, that is what happens. Suddenly you get an inspiration, you don't know how it has come, how it has entered in you, how it has worked in you at all. But it is there, and then things start happening outward. Then you start understanding, so to say, the entire sequence. But you don't understand how it has come, that inspiration, you see. Travel the soundless corridors of his mind. That is, of course, the condition. Basic condition to receive inspiration is silent mind, quiet mind. If it is a noisy mind, then you do not really get her message. She is trying to bring something, you not get the message at all from her. Bringing her rhythmic sense of hidden sin. Yeah, rhythmic sense. In other words, everything gets kind of harmonized in her understanding of things. The relationships of objects, of knowledge, of activities, etc., they fall into their proper coherent places. You see. A music spoke, transcending mortal speech. Well, obviously, now it is the music that is speaking. In other words, what is spoken, that itself is music. That itself is music. Harmonious, sweet, enchanting. That itself is it. As if from a golden file of the all bliss. Yeah, well, from the file of all bliss, that is the big jar of bliss, and from that everything is being poured. In other words, it is the creation of Ananda. What the divine knowledge comes to you is the knowledge coming from Ananda itself, the creation of Ananda itself. That is what you experience here in that case. A joy of light, a joy of sudden sight. You see, sudden sight, lightning feet, all those things are again related. Sudden sight, you never saw things, but suddenly in your vision, a new perspective has opened out. You see new dimensions. A rapture or a thrill, undying word. So you have got bliss, you have got joy, you have got rapture, you have got thrill, all related to the Ananda, bliss, it says. Poured into his heart as into an empty cup. Yeah, that is the important thing, as I said last time. Cup has to be really empty, you see. Empty cup goes well with soundless corridors of mind, you see. Empty cup, a repetition of God's first delight. So you have got bliss, you have got joy, you have got rapture, you have got thrill, now you have got delight also here. See, all the aspects of joy, of happiness. Happiness is not there yet, you see. Gladness is there. Creating a young and virgin time. The way in which the creation started, the joy of creation, it is that kind of an experience you have when the inspiration dawns, when you receive the inspiration and when something comes out. In other words, it is an act of creation. It is a creative joy that you feel and you experience in soul process. In a brief moment cut, a little space, all knowledge packed into great wordless thought. Wordless thought. Thought don't need an expression. They don't need words. They are not bound even by words also. All knowledge, everything is there now. So that is the power of the messenger. She brings the knowledge directly from the highest source and she is delivering it to you. All knowledge packed into great wordless thought, lost in the expectant stillness of his death. Again, that is the important condition. Stillness, quiet, you see. A crystal of the ultimate absolute, a portion of the inexpressible truth, revealed by silence to the silent soul, revealed by silence to the silent soul, silent soul, revealed by silence to the silent. Yeah, it is silence will reveal only to the silent soul, you see. Now, crystal of the absolute, ultimate absolute. This is what we were talking last time, and I think this is a reference. Shivandu had already seen this crystal in the Matri Mandir, but whether it is a translucent crystal or a transparent transparent crystal, that we don't know. He has not described that thing here. It's a question mark. No, but still, the way in which the description is going on here, all this here, what we have, it looks that it is a transparent crystal.
Stop, yes.
Yeah.
Here it is crystal.
Yeah, transparent crystal. Here, the description is of a transparent crystal. But the mother sees in her vision translucent crystal in the Matre Mandir chamber, you see. Globe, you see. She sees a translucent crystal, you see. Now, translucent, she says also that it brings a kind of a coolness of silence. Whereas if it is transparent, it is very warm in that sense. So translucent brings a sort of a happy, cool peace around, you see. So that is perhaps her vision of seeing things, you see. But here you don't get that intense. You see, here the whole effect is on intensity, on power, on transparency, on effectiveness and that kind of a thing, you see. So if you want to connect this crystal of the absolute, ultimate absolute, to the Matrimony crystal, I will say that this is a transparent crystal. If you want to connect, a crystal. But what is the dilemma? What is the problem? What is the problem actually in making it translucent?
Mother said clearly translucent, not transparent. Twice. Translucent, not transparent.
Translucent.
And today we have a transparent one.
Transparent, yeah.
So they made the opposite of what Mother asked.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Why she was
why she's insisting on
why she
translucent?
insisted so
Yeah,
clearly about
she's insisting on translucent crystal.
she insists on translucent, and when you see the effect of a light on a translucent
Yeah.
globe
Yeah,
and a transparent globe, the effect is completely different.
that is true. Now, I think in making a translucent crystal has a technical problem. No, that's all right, whatever it is. Now, when you want to cast a glass now, a piece of glass, how will you make it translucent?
It's possible, yes. Yeah, you can. Somebody.
How will you make it trans? I mean, the glass maker will always see it as a transparent.
They
You can do. You can do. It's a technique you can do. It's done already. Mark, tell him.
I mean,
Somebody.
there is a crystal, same size, 80 centimeter, made of quartz,
Quartz,
which
okay.
is waiting in Pondicherry somewhere for
Okay.
a test. Translucent,
Yeah.
natural, and it is translucent, even with some.
Translucent.
It's a quartz, pure quartz. It's a crystal, quartz, big like that. I saw it.
Yeah.
I saw it.
No, but that you are saying is made of quartz. That is, but this glass is not quartz glass. This glass, this is Ina glass. You see, this is this Paris glass. It's not Ina.
Actually, now it is glass, made of glass.
It is not quartz glass. You see. No, what we have got is quartz.
What we have now is glass.
Yeah, but it's not quartz.
No.
It is not quartz. I'm saying. It's not quartz. But making a translucent glass is not easy. I don't know how you'll make it translucent. Technically, you can't really produce a translucent glass.
Technically, they can.
No, glass.
They made some sample big like that.
I don't know. See, because the whole glass, and then it has to be of uniform density. There should not be variations in refractive index, and that kind of technical problems are quite serious there.
There are
And-
different possibilities. But maybe it's not the moment to discuss all this.
Yeah, but then, but you think, yeah, it's a big, yeah. No, but do you think that if not today, tomorrow, a translucent glass can be made on a big size scale like that?
The guy who take care of this brought from Germany few samples big like that, half the size,
Yeah,
translucent,
translucent.
in the mass or outside. Outside, sun-blasted, sun-blasted, and in the mass is a kind of milky.
Yeah. Translucent would be milky, slightly. Yeah,
milky,
that's right. Yeah.
But it is translucent.
Yeah.
They are translucent.
But are they really thinking of ordering another piece of glass like that? Do you think that they will try to get another translucent globe?
They are trying to change it, yes.
They are trying to. Yeah.
It will come in the coming months.
No, it's all right, but I mean, it is there. It is there in their thought at least.
But clearly, Mother said, clearly,
Translucent.
translucent, not transparent.
Yeah.
So it was clear.
Yeah.
So I think we should follow what she said.
Yeah. A crystal, the ultimate absolute. You see, if it is ultimate absolute, it has to be transparent. You see. A portion of the inexpressible truth, revealed by silent to the silent soul, the intense creatrix in the stillness wrought. In creatrix, that goddess, inspiration, intense, strong, powerful, effective. Stillness, in his stillness, again, silence, she coming, wrought. She is working in his stillness. Her power, fallen speechless, grew more intimate. See, the less speaks now, the more it becomes intimate. Her power was by itself. See, that's the beauty of it. Inspiration does not speak, but its power keeps on acting in you. You start receiving it constantly. See. Her power, fallen, speechless, grew more intimate. She looked upon the seen and the unforeseen. Yeah, what is present, what is going to be seen tomorrow. She already sees that thing. She has got the distant vision, the vision of tomorrow, the vision of future things to come. She has that thing all. Unguessed domain, she made her native field. Now, it is not only seeing, but she is making all that is not there as a field of her action. Native field, she is going to act there, she is going to work there. I mean, the knowledge which will come to her will be a dynamic expression of things which are not seen today. Unguessed domain, she made her native field. All vision gathered into a single ray. So the whole drishti has come now to her, complete drishti, vision, gathered into a single ray. One, that beam of light is there, single ray. As when the eyes stare at the invisible point, till to the intensity of a luminous spot, an apocalypse of a world of images enters into the kingdom of the seer. Now, this is an invisible point. Eye staring into the invisible point. You don't see that thing, but the eye thinks that there is something and is staring into it. Now, that is, in fact, a kind of a description of what is called in the yogic parlance trataka. Trataka. Focusing your vision, your attention, your eye on a given single point. Constantly staring at a single point. And then, out of that point, you start seeing images coming out. This is called trataka, you see. So, this is a kind of a description of trataka, you see. Trataka. In fact, this is the eye which opens out and sees things in a single point. All vision gathered into single ray as when the eyes stare at an invisible point. Till to the intensity of one luminous spot. See, you keep on looking at a single point, and then suddenly it becomes bright. It starts blazes out. It shines out. An apocalypse of a world of images. Apocalypse, it is a manifestation of vision, of worlds, of images. One now, mean you have a single invisible point, you are looking into it constantly, and suddenly images after images are rolling out. Constantly. See. Enters in the kingdom of the seer. So the seer was not able to see anything at all. With the Trataka, he is seeing a complete panorama of images unfolding in front of him, one after the other. An apocalypse. It is a kind of a darshana, you see, of images, you see. This is of course a Greek word. It has not much to do with the Christian image of apocalypse, but in the sense of vision, of seeing, sight, of images coming in front of you, see. An apocalypse of a world of images. See, the scanning of the language, an aperic, calypse, I am, of a world, an epist of ages. This is scansion of the line, you see. A great nude arm of splendor suddenly rose. See, when you are looking at it, images are coming, and a kind of an arm is seen here on. It ran the gauze opaque of nations, the cloth of nations which is there, gauze, opaque. You can't look through it, but that arm, sudden arm, has kind of removed that gauze, and you are looking through the nations, what was not there present at all, what was unknown, without any knowledge. Her lifted fingers keen, unthinkable tick, bare to the step of flame, the closed beyond. The beyond was closed until now, behind the nations. Behind the nations, it was closed. Now she has removed that covering, that opaqueness which was there, that has completely gone. In the world, you are really realizing the meaning of what is nations also, not only knowledge, but also behind nations, what is the truth of that nation that you are able to see because of her, you see. So that is the power of inspiration that has come to him. A great nude arm, nude, bare, absolutely, of arm, of splendor, suddenly rose. See, suddenly lightning, these are the characteristics of the intuition, of inspiration also. It rent the gauze opaque of nations, her lifted fingers, keen, unthinkable tip, the small little tip of the finger. You can't imagine what it is. Bare to the stem of flame, she has touched that thing opaque with the finger, and suddenly the close beyond has opened out to her. And I awake in voiceless heights of trance, mute, silent, and I awake in voiceless heights of trance. Means there is an I in the trance which is awake. And what does it do? A mind plucking at the unimaginable, overleaping with a soul and perilous bound, the high black wall hiding superconscious. Until now, the superconscious was hidden, it was covered, but now she has come, put her finger, and with the tip of her finger, the whole thing has opened out completely, you see. Overleaping with a soul and perilous bound, the high black wall hiding superconscious, she broke in with inspired speech for skies and plundered the unknowable's vast estate. Now, we have got a long image here of inspiration as a farm worker. She is harvesting the field of knowledge, obviously, and she is cutting the harvest with a scythe completely. Huge big handle with cut. She is cutting the harvest of the high black wall hiding superconscious. She broke in with inspired speech. Well, she herself is a goddess of inspiration, but her speech itself is inspired. Means when the knowledge has dawned, when she has come here, and she is wielding that scythe in her hand, cutting the harvest, the entire thing is in front of you, see. And plundered the unknowns, plundered because it was kept sealed, it was opaque, it was hidden, it was in Asian. She managed to open out those doors and give it to you, offer it to you. Unknowable vast state. Yeah, you see, even that nation is an aspect of the unknowable state. Why he has created that state, that is unknowable, that is known only to the unknowable. And plundered means what was kept hidden till now, what was not accessible to us at all, to our senses of cognition, something has opened on us, and then they have got now opened out this thing. And plundered the unspoken, unknowable vast state, a gleaner of infinitesimal grains of truth. See, sky, estate, farmlands, farm, gleaner, she is now gleaning, minutely looking at the grain. So this is a harvest image, farm image completely. See. In fact, this whole description, a sheep binder, again thing. You have cut the grass or the harvest and making small bundles on sheaves, you see like that. Infinite experience, she peered the guarded mystery into a whirlpool, and her magic methods of 1,000 veils. As she gathered the lost secrets dropped in time. Yeah, okay, we'll see that thing. Now, basically, therefore, this whole image here, what we have got, is the image of inspiration as a farm worker. Completely. And you can see from here that the description is very elaborate, detailed, every aspect is opened out in the expression here, and this is a typical long simile which is very common in Homer's works. So this is a simile which is called a Homeric simile. So one of the best examples of Homeric simile is this goddess of inspiration acting as a farm laborer, farm worker, you see. Speech for scythe and plundered the unknowable's vast state, a gleaner of infinitesimal grains of thorn, a sheep binder of infinite experience. So all the experience which is there of infinity, she is now making bundles of them like that. She pierced the guarded mysteries of world for pierced. Yeah. See, world force, how she is working here, what she wants to do that thing. Now that thing is coming to be understood by the person who received this inspiration. A shape binder of experience. She pierced the guarded mysteries. Yeah, guarded. Why? They are not to be given to people who are not ready. You have to kind of qualify yourself to receive those mysteries of world force and their magic methods wrapped in 1,000 veils. Wrapped in 1,000 veils. Again, this word wrapped. We have seen flame wrapped last time. Here, wrapped. This spelling is WRAPPED. The current spelling is WRAPPED. But the Miltonic spelling is wrapped. And Shibandu has retained that thing. Now, both these wrapped methods wrapped in 1,000 veils, and the earlier one, what we are saying, flame wrapped. This wrapped has been changed in the revised edition to wrapped, WRAPPED. See. Now,
Past tense.
pardon me?
Past tense.
Both. WRAPPED, both. In the revised edition, it is PPED, not PPT, you see. The other one also. Now, of course, there is no basis why they have changed it. Of that, no details are given. If this is actually a line in Srivin's own handwriting with WRAPT, it has to be retained as WRAPT. And when Srivindu is writing twice flame wrapped and metals wrapped, etc., in this manner, he means it that way. See, there is a sense also in having a word like this. And her magic methods wrapped in 1,000 veils. Now, if you see, read this line, and her magic methods wrapped in 1,000 veils, and her magic methods wrapped in 1,000 veils. The noise is different, the sound is different, the rhythm is different. See, the rhythm is different. By changing wrapped to wrapped, the rhythm changes. You see, and you are not supposed to change the rhythm. You see. She feared the guarded mysteries of world force and the magic methods wrapped in 1,000 veils, or she gathered the law. So either she has done this job of gleaning, harvesting, or what is she doing? What is she doing? The alternative is she gathered the lost secrets brought by time. She is doing two things. She is harvesting or she is gathering from the lost time the secrets which are there in the dust and crannies of his mounting his time. His for time, see. She gathered the lost secrets brought by time in the dust and crannies of his mounting road. Time is climbing, mounting road. Mid old forsaken dreams of hastening mind and buried remnants of forgotten space. See, in the process of time, many secrets have been lost, but she is recovering those past secrets, you see. Now, this is a very difficult kind of a description. Had he given us some examples of those secrets brought by time, what are the secrets brought by time, then perhaps we little people could have understood the meaning of this one, you see. Time is moving forward, but in the history of time, many things got lost. With the power of inspiration, it is possible for you to go back into time and recover those secrets. Now, what could be those secrets? What could be those secrets, you see? It's difficult to imagine. Maybe we can just make kind of a guess or try to rationalize to satisfy ourselves what those secrets could be. See, for instance, there is the lost continent Atlantis. This is the last continent, Atlantis. Of that we have no knowledge at all. Atlantis, it is described by Plato, and Plato also says that he heard from somebody of the lost continent. He heard from somebody. Now that was a civilization, and it was perhaps necessary also that Atlantis should have disappeared. In the course of time, it was necessary for Atlantis to have disappeared. For the simple reason that the occult gain of the Atlantis era, was so heavy that the race could not bear it at that time. The occult weight itself made it disappear from history completely. So that could be one of the lost secrets. What was the occult gain of those people, what they had gained, what they had achieved, to what extent they have progressed. That could be one of the possibilities of the gains of the Atlantis, you see, for instance. She gathered the lost secrets, dropped by time. Time has lost, forgotten. See, in our own history, we are trying to get, there were dinosaurs, there were many other creatures, they have come and they have gone away also. They are the lost secrets of time. Why they have come, what for they were here, of that we have no knowledge. But to some extent now we are able to see at least that yes, there were creatures like dinosaurs. There were things of that kind like that, you see. Our paleontology is incapable of really describing the details of it. But these are the lost secrets which are not accessible to paleontology. With inspiration, with power of inspiration, some knowledge of it can be obtained, can be gained. See, even in the Rigveda, the Rishi speaks. You see, we don't know ourselves the real age of Rigveda. But I believe it was about 10,000 years ago, Rigveda. It must have been during the time of Rama, or that period of Rama Avatar. The Rigvedic rishis, they speak of our human fathers. Of that human fathers we have no knowledge. There is no recorded history at all. Our human fathers, the rishis are speaking of their human fathers who did this kind of a thing, you see. They were in contact with the gods, did this thing, all those beautiful things which are described by these people. Our human fathers did those things, and that is what the Rigvedic rishis are telling us, you see. Now, we have no knowledge of Rigveda itself, then of this Rigvedic rishis statement, our human fathers, we have no knowledge at all, you see. So this is the lost secrets dropped by time, you see. Our human fathers, what they did, they discovered the truth. They found where the truth is hidden in matter. Of that we have no knowledge, you see. Many other occult things have happened. Even, see, we are to some extent aware of the occultism of the Egyptians, of the Egyptian era, you see, at that time. Wonderful things they had done, you see. But how they did it, of that no knowledge. Mesopotamia, how they achieved those kind of things, of that we have no knowledge really. So these are the lost secrets dropped by time, and we have to recover that thing now only by the power of inspiration. We have to open ourselves to the power of inspiration, and she is the only one who can reveal to us what those things were there. You see. No paleontology is able to furnish you any details at all. It cannot. You see. In fact, a greater lost secret would be in the previous cycles of creation, in one of the previous cycles of creation, it was Mars which was the center of action, planet Mars. Planet Mars. Now, presently, it is Earth is the significant center for the evolution, where the entire effort is being focused completely, you see. Now, how that change has taken place from Mars to Earth and all that thing, that is the lost secret of time. That is the lost secret. How that shift has taken place from Mars to Earth, that is the lost secret. But here is a hope that if you are really open to the power of inspiration, she will tell you, yes, yes, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened, this is what happened. You see. And we have some glimpses of it in Savitri, record of yoga, in the evolution. He described the story of evolution there in the record of yoga. He used some idea of that kind of. So these are the lost secrets brought by time, you see. And here the hope is that we do open to the real power of inspiration, you see. Mid old forsaken dreams, hastening mind, and buried remnants of forgotten space. Forgotten space, yeah, all that has happened, disappeared completely, you see. Atlantis has gone there, all those things are not there at all now, you see. A traveler between summit and abyss, a traveler, now she is a traveler here, you see. Between the top and the bottom, you see. The power of inspiration. She joined the distant ends, the viewless deep, the distant end, the top and the bottom, the alpha and the omega, if you want to call it, are straight along the roads of heaven and hell, pursuing all knowledge like a questing hound, like a questing hound. She is now the famous dog, Samara, who is in search of truth, truth which is deeply hidden in the depths of matter, truth which is present in the depths of matter, what the Vedic rishis call cows, go, light, cows. They are trapped in the pen of matter, in the mountain pen, and they have to be released. Now nobody knows the presence of this light in the pen of matter. Nobody knows that thing at all. But this dog, this sarma, this hound, she smells, she suddenly feels that here is the truth, here is the truth, here is the truth. So she has got that faculty of seeing truth. She looks for that thing, you see. Pursuing all knowledge like a questing hound. Yeah, that is what happens, you see, in the questing ground. I don't know whether you have seen a video or not. It's a very powerful video. Very not a very good video, but at least illustratively very telling video. How the drugs are smuggled across the border from Mexico to USA. Across the border, how the drugs are smuggled in huge quantities. They have made all kinds of things in their lorry, in their trucks, in their vehicles, and all that thing. Panel this thing completely, but the dog smells there. The dog smells, and then start opening out the panels after panels, and then the whole huge thing comes out completely. You see. So it is that quality of the dog. It smells that thing suddenly. So it is that questing hound which knows where the truth is. Yes, matter is there. Matter is not dumb, is not mute, is not brute, is not dull, is not inert, is not stupid. There is a truth behind it, and that truth is sensed by this hound of intuition, of inspiration, you see. She smells that thing and she tells the Rishi, yeah, here it is matter. And then the Rishi takes up and breaks the mountain and releases the cows of truth, of light from the mountain, you see. Pursuing all knowledge like a questing hound. He says, of course, like a simile, but she herself is a sarma, a dog, you see. The power of intuition, so to say, of inspiration. Now here we have all these descriptions of inspiration, of intuition, of revelation. They are not kind of put down in the form of a mathematical book. So you have to discern what is what, you see, here, you see. A reporter, now she is a reporter described. So see how she is changing. She is a traveler, she is a hunter, she is a gleaner, she is a harvest creature and that kind of thing. Now she is a reporter and messenger. So messenger is becoming all these things now. See. Her shining minutes of celestial speech pass through the masked office of the occult mind. Yeah, she brings all that things, celestial truth, but then it has to pass through the doors of mind, and then it gets affected, colored, or it has to present itself through the faculty of mind itself. So it gets kind of limited also here. Pass through the masked office of the occult mind, transmitting gay to prophet and to seer the inspired body of the mystic truth, the inspired body of the mystic truth. It is she then who brings that mystic truth to the inspired, to the rishi, to the seer, to the prophet, to the visionary who has opened out. Now, when that is possible, when does the prophet receive it? When does the seer receive it? When his mind has fallen silent. That is the first condition. When it has fallen silent, then he can receive that inspiration. Pass through the masked office of the occult mind, transmitting gate to prophet and to seer the inspired body of the mystic truth. A recorder of the inquiry of the gods. So now she is now becoming a recorder. She is becoming a spokesman. You see, all those things. You see. The inquiry of the God, spokesman of the silent seeing to the Supreme, silent seeing to the Supreme, Supreme is seeing everything, but she is the spokesman. She is telling you on behalf of the Supreme, this is this, this is this, this is this, you see. Above the reason's brilliant slender curve, yeah, reason's curve is a very slender curve, above that, much above mind, beyond the mental level, release like radiant air, dimming a moon, yeah, radiant air dimming, even the moon itself is dim. Broad spaces of a vision without line or limit swam into his spirit's skin. He now stands for Ashwapati. Means this is a description. You see, we started with that. Ashwapati has crossed the mental domains and entered into spiritual worlds. And the spiritual knowledge is coming to him in the form of discernment, in the form of Ila, Saraswati, Mahi, all those goddesses. And that is what is happening. Our limit swam into his spirit skin. About the reason, yeah, that is how we started. From the mental world, he has entered the spiritual, and this is what has happened to him now. In words, this is a kind of a summary of all that has been described so far. Above the reason, brilliant slender curve, released like radiant air, dimming a moon, broad spaces of a vision without line or limit swam into his spirit skin. Oceans of being met his voyaging soul, calling to infinity. In oceans of being met his voyaging soul, calling to infinite discovery. Oceans of being, world after world exists in the cosmic dimensions, cosmic extension, not only in the cosmic, but also even the transcendent. World after, so there are oceans and oceans of, so many lokas, so many worlds are there, see, present here. In fact, the tradition says Saptaloka, 7 worlds. Saptaloka above, Saptaloka below, Saptapatala, 7 nether worlds below, and 7 higher worlds above. All this world after world are opening. They are whose creation? Of the being, of the Supreme Being. They are the creations of His. Oceans of being met his voyaging soul. Yeah, because these are oceans and therefore voyaging soul, you see. See, had it been world after world of being met his traveling soul, it would have been traveling soul, you see. Had it been world after world, it would have been traveling soul, you see, journeying soul. But here, ocean and voyaging, you see. Calling to infinite discovery, and still that does not exhaust the creation's possibilities. What you see even in the material world, in the physical world, in the astronomical world, you see stars and stars and stars and galaxies and galaxies and galaxies, endless, 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 as if there is something yet lying beyond, far beyond, calling to infinite discovery, timeless domains of joy and absolute power, stretched out, surrounded by eternal hush, surrounded by eternal hush. All these worlds are kind of surrounded, they are silent, they are not speaking themselves out, they are not expressing themselves out. The way that lead to endless happiness ran like dreams mind through meditating vast. Dreams minds meditating through vast. What a simile. Mean the whole thing as if you are dreaming through, smiling, joyous, happy of this creation, of the infinity of this creation, of this multiplicity of it. Through meditating vast, disclosed up in a gold moments of blaze. Suddenly they have become now right to him. Suddenly, gold moments of blaze, gold moment. It is just a glimpse in time. What will be a glimpse beyond time, in the timeless, in gold, momentless blaze, will be something different altogether. In other words, he has stepped into time. In that moment, which has become gold, it is in that he is seeing word after word climbing. Like a hierarchy of grandeur, of beauty, of joy, of majesty, all those things are present simultaneously. Disclosed, stood up in a gold moments blaze. This is the power of inspiration, the power of the higher knowledge rushing into him. Suddenly the whole thing opens out completely. Along a naked curve in boneless cell, which has no boundary, which has no limit, which has no end. Boneless cell, Atman, it has no end at all, anywhere, in any direction, you see. Along a naked curve, so he is traveling now to the world of self, which has no boundary. Boneless goes along with the infinite discovery upon the ocean voyaging, you see. It is an ocean which has no shore, which has no boundary, limit, you see. Along a naked curve in boneless cell, the points that run to the close heart of things, the point that run. So as if these worlds are points and they are running to the close heart of things or somebody else. Shadow the interminable line that carry the everlasting through the year. So these worlds are but points and they are forming a line which is endless, interminable on every direction. Neither to the left there is the end, nor to the right there is the end. The line continues and continues endlessly. Because it is boundless. Shadow the interminable line that carries the everlasting through the years. Now it is this line which is carrying the everlasting through time. You see. It is this line of world after world after world, boundless. They have come into and through the entire thing, the everlasting is moving through all these things. What for etc. That is his knowledge. We don't know. You see, that carry the everlasting through the years, through the years. The magician order of the cosmic mind. Yeah, it is the cosmic mind who is seeing the order here, not the human mind, not the rational mind of ours, but the cosmic mind, the cosmic thinker. It is he who has thought and brought out this, causing the freedom of infinity, causing the freedom of infinity. Yeah, he is compelling infinity itself to take form with this stark array of nature's symbol. Yes, it is that cosmic mind which has concretized things into different, definite things of world after world, you see, with a stark array of nature's symbol and life's incessant signals of events, transmuted chance recurrences into laws. So, what appears to be a chance to us, it is actually has become now a law. a rule, a regulation, a chaos of science into a universe, a chaos of science into a universe. Unity. It has become a single verse, you see, of science. Out of the rich wonders and intricate worlds of the spirit's dance with matter as a smile. That is the boundless sea, oceans of worlds, you see. Oceans, oceans of being. Out of the rich wonders and intricate world of the spirit's dance with matter as is the spirit has put on the mask of matter, and in that dance, see, dance, spirits dance with matter. So when the spirit is dancing, each pose is a creation, is a word, each posture is a creation, is a existence by itself. In fact, that is what the dance of Shiva means. When Shiva is dancing, what is he doing? Shiva's dance means each posture of Shiva is creating a world of its own. The spirit dance with matter as a small. So this is actually the image of Nataraj, Shiva, in the poise of dance. And it is each poise of Shiva is a world of dance. See. The spirit dance with matter as is the balance of the words of design grew clear. Now with that knowledge, why all that is happening, why this creation, etc., etc., why so many galaxies, so many stars, etc., etc., in the sky, that is becoming clear. The balance of the world design grew clear. Its symmetry of self-arranged effects managed in the deep perspective of soul. Manage the deep perspective of soul. Yeah, you can understand only when you have got that soul vision in the perspective of the soul. And the realism of its elusive art. Now this is an oxymoron, a beautiful oxymoron. Realism of elusive art. A wonderful oxymoron, you see. Yeah, you see, when you see that thing, this whole thing looks an illusion to us. When you see that, the whole thing looks an illusion. But behind this illusion, behind this matter, which you don't see reality, there is a reality. And that is the realism which you see behind it, you see. And the realism of this elusive art, it has managed to do that kind of, the dance of the Shiva, dance of Shiva, and that art, its logic of infinite intelligence, its magic of a changing eternity. So there is the infinite intelligence behind all this creation, behind this multiplicity of world after world of the being coming into existence. There is a meaning, there is a sense, there is a purpose behind that thing. Its logic, why it is there? Yes, there is a purpose behind all that thing. Its magic of a changing eternity. Eternity which is stable, which is unchanging normally, but that itself can change. In other words, how eternity enters into time and goes through a process of sequence of things and all that thing, that is the changing eternity. In other words, each moment is packed with eternity by itself, you see, completely. Eternity is present in each moment. Changing means moment will change, but the content of the moment, which is eternity, that remains the same. That does not change. It's magic. That is why it is a magic. In other words, the rational mind cannot understand this thing. As I said, this is an oxymoron, and rational mind cannot really understand what an oxymoron is, how that can happen at all, you see. A glimpse was caught of things forever known. So this is what has happened now. Suddenly, you see, at least what do you get? With all that knowledge which has got now, with all the faculties which have opened out to him, what does he get? A glimpse. A glimpse was caught of things forever unknown. The later stood out of the unmoving world. Later stood out of the unmoving world. Word, Brahma. The power of expression. The creative power of expression. The creative power of expression. That is the word. Unmoving. That is Brahma. In fact, as I told you earlier, in Sanskrit, in Vedic Sanskrit, word is itself called Brahma. Brahma not in the mythological sense, but Brahma means word, the creative power of expression. That is the Vedic Sanskrit means, you see. Unmoving, unmoving, it is there. Now what is that? Now, word unmoving, which is there always by itself, Brahma, self-standing always, you see, which is not describable by anything at all in that sense. Now, out of that the letters have come out. Out of that word, the letters have come out. Now, the Vedic expression is Brahma, the word of expression, of creation, is what we got here. In the Upanishad, the expression is given in a different manner. Unmoving word is in the Upanishads Om itself. Om is the unmoving word. In the Upanishadic description, Om is the unmoving word. In the Vedic language, it is Brahma himself, word, the creative power of expression. That in the Upanishadic parlance is Om. Now, Om consists of three, A, U, M. Now, these three letters of A, U, M are part of Om. See, in that sense. The letters stood out of the unmoving word means from that means here, if you want to translate directly, this unmoving word is Om, and the letters which are standing out from that Om are A, U, M. The three stages of consciousness. Three stages of consciousness. Vaishvanara, Tejasa, Hiranyagarbha. Three stages of consciousness. Virata, Purusha, he refers A, Virata Purusha. Tejasa is the second. And then Hiranyagarbha, the seed, the golden seed. The other names for that thing are in our language, in the metaphysical language, there are three states: Jagrata, Swapna, and Sushupti. Jagrata, Swapna, Sushupti. Jagrata means waking state. Waking state. Swapna, dream state. And then Sushupti, the sleep state. Pradnya, sleep state. Sushupti. So these are the three letters Om. So if you want to go by the description of the Upanishads, then the three letters are Jagrata, Swapna, and Sushupti. The waking state, the sleep state, and the Sushupti, sleep state. In the waking state, that is what we got, the outer consciousness, the surface consciousness. In the Swapna, dream, what is kept back to you, it comes out here. And then you have got the last one as the Sushupti, Pratnya, where you have the full knowledge of things that is completely coming out. So these three states, this line that way is metaphysically very rich line. And it depends upon whether you want to go by the Upanishadic description or by the Vedic description of it. Both of them are of course valid. See, both of them are valid. See. But you see how in one single line she able to kind of summarizes the entire scriptural treasure in his poetry here, you see. You got here completely, you see. The association is very rich, very powerful, you see. The letters, he says the letters, that gives the clue that is more Upanishadic than the Vedic. Stood out the unmoving word, unmoving word, that is Om. They call it the three stages, matra, three matras, Jagrata, Swapna, and Pratnya, Sushupti. And Om is a matra. Matra means syllable. Sorry, matra means vowel. 3 vowels. A, U, M. M is not a vowel, but that is what 3 vowels. Now, Om is without any vowel. Om, you see, it is without vowel. That is called vowelless. Matraless. A matra. You see, Om is a matra. You see, this is a matra. A matra. You see, you can put it. The letter stood out of the unmoving word. So that is what now that inspiration has brought to him completely. He has the knowledge of all the 3 states of consciousness, of waking, of dream, of sleep.
Said Sushupti, Swapna, and the third one.
Jagrata. Jagrata. Jagrata, waking. Jagrata. Jagrata. First is Jagrata, that is waking. Jagrata is waking. The second is Swapna, that is dream. And the third is sleep, that is Sushupti. Yeah, Sushupti. That is Pradnya. So the 3 consciousness have opened out to him suddenly, you see. It's a very rich, powerful description, the whole thing, you know. A glimpse, and then what to say, with all that thing, what has happened is only a glimpse. What the total reality is, we don't know beyond that. It's only a glimpse is caught of that, you see. Caught of things forever unknown. They have remained unknown forever until now, you see. Now, actually, this is a very significant thing. We have got a very beautiful example of this thing in Savitri's early stage of yoga. Savitri is in the Jagrata state, in the wakeful consciousness, the surrounding. She is in the midst of all the family members, rishis, hermitages, doing a regular routine things of that kind. And she is moving on like that. But then suddenly she realizes that, yes, it's all right, but tomorrow my husband is going to die. What is that I am going to do? And Savitri weighs all the pros and cons, what she has to do and all that thing. But she does not get an answer directly to herself. But then her self of grief, which is grieving all the while, self of grief, falls silent, completely silent. It has weighed all the pros and cons, all the possibilities, do this, do that, etc., etc. Because my husband is going to die tomorrow, I don't know what to do. She is weighing all the possibilities like that. Her self of grief falls silent, and in that silence, then she gets the command, she gets the advice. She is told, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Remember why thou hast come, why you have taken this mortal birth. You remember that thing, and then do this, do this, do this, that kind of thing. Now, with that instruction directly coming from the divine Savitri herself to this human Savitri, she enters into the dream consciousness. She enters the first thing from the waking, she has entered into the dream consciousness. A dream disclosed to her the cosmic past. That is how we begin life. A dream disclosed to her the cosmic. All that thing was dropped out by time, what we are seeing. That is now being seen by Savitri. A dream disclosed to her the cosmic past. The time had dropped out, we are not able to see that thing, but Savitri is not able to see that. She got the command and she didn't have to do any yoga. The dream itself is now telling her what she is moving through the stream of consciousness in the past, and she sees all the events there in the past. Now it is that which comes as a command, as a dream state. After that dream, then will come higher knowledge to Savitri till that is the higher power. A glimpse of caught of thing. In the case of Ashwapati, it didn't happen that way. Ashwapati had to go through the process of Vedantic path, the Vedic path, as you say. Savitri went to the occult path, to that thing. He is climbing through the mental to the spiritual domain, and then he is seeing these things there. Savitri didn't have to go through that thing. Suddenly the dream has disclosed to her the cosmic path. The occult path has opened out to her directly. in the immutable, nameless origin, immutable, nameless origin, the supreme origin, the absolute which has remained unexpressed, namely Ninya, that is the Vedic, that is the Sanskrit phrase, immutable, nameless origin, was seen emerging as from fathomless sea, the trail of idea that made the world. Now he is seeing from that. See, the word has opened out, and now the ideas are coming out from that, you see. In the immutable nameless origin was seen emerging as from fathomless sea. So there are death below death, death below life, and you don't know how deep you are going to go. But then what to say? A trail of the ideas. See, the idea starts with the real idea. And that real idea then becomes idea of many like that. It keeps on hanging that, multiplying. The trail of ideas, you have got the real chair there, then you have got ideal chair there, and then you have got the physical chair here. See, all these things are happening. The trail of the idea that made the world. Each idea is a world by itself, is a loka by itself. Loka of joy. The word of joy is an idea. So you have got a word of joy. Word of power is an idea. You have got the word of power. You have got the word of truth, word of knowledge. All these are words, and they are coming out one after the other. Word of matter. The trail, the idea that made the world, and sown in the black earth of nature's trance. Black earth of nature's trance. The virgin soil of earth. It is in that the idea is so of nature's trance. Nature is lying in its own trance, but that nameless idea has entered into the soil of the earth, in the black soil of the earth. Well, that black soil is also a very fertile soil. It will produce the tree. It will bring out the harvest also. So, in the black earth of nature's trance, the seed of the spirit is blind and huge desire. The spirit is blind and huge desire. Blind and huge, blind, because it is working in the world of nations, in the black soil of earth. Therefore, it is blind. And you desire. The spirit has a desire, has a will. Desire here stands for will, not ambition, not the sense of possession, not of karma. It is a desire is in the original sense of karma. Karma means desire, basically. Normally it is put in the vital sense. Karma means love, lust. It is not that kind of a karma, love or lust. Karma in the original desire, the pure desire itself. I wish to do that thing. That is the karma. That is the desire. See, the spirit is blind and huge. It is a huge desire. Yeah, out of this black earth, something great must happen. That is his huge desire. The black soil, black earth should not remain black. It should be the golden soil bearing the golden fruit of happiness and joy and beauty and love and lust. That is what should be. That is huge desire from which the tree of cosmos was conceived. Tree of cosmos was conceived and spread its magic arm through a dream of peace, and spread its magic arm through a dream of peace. Tree of cosmos, Ashwatha, that is the traditional tree of cosmos, Ashwatha. It is both Vedic and Upanishadic. The Gita speaks of Ashwatha, and Gita speaks of this Ashwatha tree. Its roots are up and its branches are down below. Urdhva Mula, its roots are up and its branches are spreading down below, you see. That is the tree of Ashwatha. Tree of cosmos was conceived and spread its magic arm through a dream of space. Immense realities took on its shape. Now, because it is conceived, because it is possible to happen, therefore they have taken shape. See, when the spirit conceives something, it becomes a reality. When the idea is of the spirit, then it becomes a concrete, objectified thing here in creation. Immense realities took on a shape. In other words, he desired that there be many worlds. And there are many worlds, you see. They are looked out from the shadow of the unknown, the bodiless namelessness that saw God born. The bodiless namelessness, yes, he has not taken any shape at all. He has not assumed any form. He has no name, anama. He has no name at all. That saw God born. What do you see there? Yes, from this black earth will be born God. The seed of God is planted in this black earth. It is that which is seen here. The bodiless, nameless that saw God born. This black earth is not for nothing. The black earth is supposed to bear, is bound to bear tomorrow God Himself. The bodiless namelessness that saw God born and tries to gain from the mortal's mind and soul a deathless body and a divine name, and tries to gain from a mortal's mind and soul a deathless body and a divine name. Immense realities took shape. So, the reality that has to take shape is, to acquire a deathless body and a divine name. That must happen. Immense reality will have to take shape. The culmination of this reality taking shape is a deathless body and a divine name. It is the complete divinization of this creation here itself. From the black earth will come the deathless body and the divine name. From the black body itself will come here. And tries to gain. Now here it says, and tries to gain. Who? Who tries to gain? God. Yes?
You said it's the creation of what? Creation of what?
This entire creation is for what purpose? From the black soil,
Who is the bodiless namelessness?
immense realities took a shape, took on it. Immense realities have taken shape from the black soil. So, they have happened. I want this world, I want this world, I want this world. They have happened here. Now, the possibility which is opening out is, out of that black soil will arise a deathless body and a divine name. See, the bodiless, nameless that saw God born, it is this namelessness who saw God being born in this creation.
Who is this nameless?
His name is who? The unknown.
No.
Which has not been, which is indescribable, which has not.
Out from the unknown. You said they
See,
look out from the shadow of the unknown.
From the unknown.
The
Yeah.
bodiless.
Yeah.
But who is this bodiless?
Well, that you can call the Supreme Being.
He came from the unknown, the Supreme
Yeah.
Being. He is the unknown.
They are looked out from the shadow of the unknown. The Supreme Being, His shadow which is there here. From that, there is the namelessness, bodiless nameless, He saw God. The shadow of the unknown is here. In this shadow, what is seen by this namelessness? God taking birth. We can say, in a way, this namelessness and this unknown are in a way same. Immense realities took on a shape, okay? They are looked out from the shadow, the unknown, the bodiless namelessness. You see, you imagine first the unknown, then its shadow is there. Then out of that shadow, what is the namelessness seeing? The namelessness now, who is there in the shadow, what is he saying? That God will take birth. I don't know whether I made clear or not. But the grammar means, huh? The grammar means that, see, you have got the unknown, he has cast a shadow here, therefore there is a black earth. He has cast a black shadow. Now in the black shadow there is the bodiless namelessness. It is that bodiless namelessness in the shadow who is seeing the God birth, the birth of the God. And the example of that the birth of the example of the birth of the God is a deathless body and a divine name.
This is very deep.
Huh? Yeah.
Different concept.
No, but it is pretty clear. You have got the unknown. He has caused the shadow. In the shadow is the namelessness, and the namelessness is seeing God being born. And the example of that God being born is a deathless body and a divine name. Now, see, but he says tries to gain. That is more important. It is more practical also, more pragmatic also, more factual also. See, yes, the namelessness is there. He wants God being born here, that God take a deathless body and a divine name. He wants that thing to happen. Is that going to happen? He tries to do that thing. In other words, the power which is there, the power of evolution which is there, yes, eventually it might happen, but then there has to be the incarnation of the divine himself also to take things forward. Therefore, tries to gain. There is an effort, there is a struggle, but that struggle has to be supplemented, has to be added, has to be fulfilled, has to be carried forward by the divine incarnating himself here. Tries to gain from the mortal's mind and soul. You cannot, mortal's mind cannot. The divine mind has to come here and do something here. Ashwapati has to take mortal birth and do all these things. The bodiless, namelessness that saw God born and tries to gain from the mortal's mind and soul the deathless body and a divine name. The immobile lips, the graceful wings, the visage masked by superconsciously, the visage masked by superconsciously, that is prajna. The face is covered of this namelessness or whatever it is, by superconsciously. The eyes with their closed lids that see all things appeared of the architect who builds in trance. He is trying to do that thing, you see. The immobile lips, yeah. Well, you can imagine immobile lips, great surreal wing, visage masked by superconsciously. It is like it is kind of a statue there, stationary, fixed. The immobile lip, the great surreal wing, the visage masked by superconsciously. That is prajna consciousness is covered here in this manner. Prajna consciousness, superconsciously. The eyes with their closed lids. That see all things. Yeah, this is what we saw last time. It is not the physical eye which is seeing here. There is the eye behind the eye which sees things completely, you see. So the lids are covered. In fact, the moment the lids are covered, this eye opens out, you see. The eyes with the closed lids that see all things. Now, the original desire, born in the void, peered out. Because of this thing, now he's giving the metaphysics of the whole thing, you see. The original desire, born in the void, peered out. He saw the hope that never sleeps, the feet that run behind a fleeting pain, the ineffable meaning of the endless dream. Now this he is Ashwapati. The original desire, born in the void. Let be mean nothing. That is what the Supreme said, the Absolute said. Let be mean nothing. He became the void. For what? In that void, he cast a seed to grow, to come out. In the word, this word desire, original desire, his desire in the void is to create a divine multiplicity. The divine multiplicity. That is the original desire. That is the purpose of why this void was created. If you want to really create multiplicity, then you have to empty out yourself fully, completely. See, if in the superconscious itself you create multiplicity, then everything is known. They are not really different. But if you want to have a distinct individuality of each and every person, you have to remove that completely. See, you have to become totally ignorant of it. You have to empty out yourself fully. You have to become the void. The purpose of the creation is the void is that out of that void, with that original desire, with that original sankalpa, desire here stands for sankalpa, will. That is the will of new creation, of multiplicity in the divine consciousness. That each individual is a manifestation of divine individuality. You see, what the Vedic Rishi say, Divyam Janam, divine Janam, people, divine people. I want divine people. Or the Upanishad say, Bahushyam Prajayati, let me be many. The Spirit says, let me be many. Many in the divine consciousness. Let me be many. And in order that that happen, you have to pass through the stage of void. Now, passing through the stage of void, the Supreme become empty. What the mother calls in the story of creation, the four powers separated themselves out and became their opposites, the void, Supreme. Now, that is the process of evolution. Means the creation of the void is actually what you would call involution. The creation of the void is actually what you would call involution. Now, after that, emerging out of that void with that original desire of multiplicity is evolution. So, the point of flux is void. You come down here, involution, become void, start again up there. Now, we should understand very clearly that involution is through all these stages into nothing. Evolution is not really climbing up like that. It is not retracting the way the involution has taken place. You are climbing up but not retracing the way the involution has taken place. Otherwise the purpose is lost. Otherwise the purpose is lost. So involution and evolution are not kind of complementary in that sense. They are not opposite of each other. You forget yourself and you climb up again. The purpose is lost completely. Evolution is a totally new creation at every stage of the stage in which the involution was, you see. In other words, you can say that in the process of divine multiplicity to appear here, the divine manifestation to appear here, there are two laps. The first lap is the lap of involution, and the second lap is the lap of evolution. Is the second lap of evolution. Now, these two laps are not parallel; they are totally different. They have their own ways of growing independently of each other. Completely, you see. The original desire born in the void. So, don't say that evolution is opposite of involution. It's not that. You see. Peered out, he saw the hope that never sleeps. Yeah, well, he Ashwapati see that possibility in that black earth. Yes, that will happen here. The feet that run behind the fleeting fate, the feet that run, the feet of that possibility, he sees behind that, you see. Run behind a fleeting fate, the ineffable meaning of the endless dream. So that is the kind of a dream also, because he never sleeps, therefore it's a dream, endless dream. The original desire, see he puts desire, capital D, sankalpa. It is in the Sanskrit truest sense, it is kama, ichha, will, desire, ichha. I wish to be so, ichha, kama. The original desire, born in the void. It has taken the birth. In fact, I will say, the birth of the original desire in the void, the birth of the original desire in the void is the first avatar. It is the appearance of the first avatar here. That the desire has appeared and is going to go here. So, who is the first avatar? It is this one. The original desire of being born in the void out of that thing, and the mother calls it Satyavan. That first avatar, the eternal avatar, she calls him Satyavan. In the story of Savitri, you see. The original desire, so that is the birth of the first avatar, you see, in the void. Then later on come other avatars, you see. The original desire, you see, he is very particular how mathematically precise every word is. Original desire, the very first urge to happen, to do things, to create multiplicity in a divine way. That is the urge of his, that's the desire, see. The longing, the will. So he has described now the powers of cognition which are beyond the mental level. Quickly kind of summarize all of them, and now what are they doing here is the description which follows here. What the contents of that knowledge is what is being described here, you see. In other words, this first 20 sentences plus the previous section, you are beyond the mental level, you are in the spiritual world, and you are getting various kinds of inputs from the spiritual domains. And it is these inputs then which should be understood in the totality of the scheme of things. In fact, it says, above the golden shimmering ridge. He is climbing up still, beyond intuition, beyond inspiration, beyond perception. He is now in the overmind. We'll take it next time, I think.